Today I'm going to talk about one thing that we cannot avoid in today's world. You know what that is? That is stress. Stress, stress, stress. That's what we hear in today's world around us all the time. We hear stress and it is unavoidable. Thanks for tuning into Shanti Edwin's channel. I hope that you'll be blessed today and this short video will help you during your stressful situations. The World Health Organization, it calls stress as a health epidemic in 21st century because 1 out of every 3 people are in a stressful situations at some point in their lives. So like I mentioned, it's unavoidable. Usually when a disappointment strikes a person, it discourages them. And once a discouragement, it leads to insecurities, and insecurity leads to worry, and worry leads to stress. And once a person is attacked with stress, they lose their peace completely. When you lose your peace, you can say that you are in a stressful situation. But the one thing is, in the Bible, in John chapter 14:27, you know what Jesus said? Jesus said, I will give you peace, not as the world gives you, but I'll give you peace. So do not let your hearts not be troubled. Don't be afraid. This is what Jesus said. He said he's going to give us peace, but still we lack that many times when we are in these stressful situations. So next time when you're in a stressful situation, the first thing you should do is, what's wrong? Why there is no peace? Why am I in stress? What's going wrong in my life? Everyone goes through a stressful situation in different circumstances in their lives, I can say. Some have financial stress, some have relationship stress, and some have health issues, and some have job related stress, some have stress with siblings, and stress with children, so marital stress. So there are so many different kinds of stress people go through in their lives. And someone said that the major cause of stress is also nagging. So husband and wives, you better don't nag your spouse, because that can lead to stress and lack of peace in your families. When there is stress, actually it cannot change anything in the past. But you know what the stress does? It ruins a person's future. A person's future can be ruined because of stress, though nothing in the past changes. So though we cannot avoid it, we should know how to handle it, what to do. Most of the stress people go through, actually it's not really a stressful situation, because Earl Nightingale, what he said was, 40% of the problems a person faces are not at all, never happens actually in their lives. 40% the stressful situations a person thinks that they're stressful never happens in their lives, and 30% are from the past. And like 12% comes out of little sicknesses, little criticisms, and all that. Actual stress related situations for a person on average is only 8% in their entire life. So many people worry about the things, or are stressful about the things that never ever happen even in their lives. So that's what we should remember. So but we are stressful imagining. Many people get stressful imagining. And you can tell when a person is in a stressful situation. The way you can tell is, the person usually repeats over and over again the same thing. Or sometimes the person, they cannot focus on a situation. They try to do too many things at a time. They keep taking the antacid tablets. So these are all the signs of a stressful person. You can tell when a person is in a real stress. So what's the result of the stress? The result of the stress is breaking of our health. The doctors say that many of the sicknesses or diseases, even the people suffering today's world, are the result of stress. God gave all of us the ability to handle stress to some level, but if it's beyond that, then what happens is a person completely breaks. Say for example, if you have a rubber band in your hand, if you stretch a rubber band, it stretches for some extent, keep stretching it, keep stretching it, keep stretching it. What happens? At some point, it breaks because there's too much stress, it breaks. And then what you do? You put a knot, and if you need it, you put a knot and use it. And again, you keep stretching it. Again, it breaks. You put another knot. So after multiple knots, you know what happens to the rubber band? It becomes completely weak and good for nothing. Only thing is you have to throw the rubber band out. So that can happen to our lives also. If repeatedly, if we are facing stressful situations in our life, that's what happens. So always remember that most of the situations are not really stressful situations. And God said, Jesus said, He will give you peace. So, and also God gives you the strength to handle the stress in your life. But if it's more, then there is a problem there. You know, one day, actually, I got into an elevator. And then I saw one by one people getting into the elevator, one after another, one after another, one after another. And at one point, the elevator was really jam packed. And I started getting little worried. Can this elevator handle this much of capacity? And, I had past bad experiences in an elevator. I was stuck on 51st floor in my office one time, and I have few experiences like that. So I was a little worried, little stressful, and I looked at that board in that elevator that said, this elevator handles 1,000 pounds capacity. And slowly I started counting on average how much weight at that point each one of us are. And I totaled the weight, and it is much above that 1,000 pounds. And even before I realized, boom, it went down. It was so fast, it went down. But thank God it exactly stopped in the level that it should be. It didn't go down. But it went so fast, it can break also. It went so fast. That's what happens in a person's life. A person's health gets destroyed so quickly because the stress is overwhelming in their lives. So what we have to do, first thing is, don't spend too much time in thinking about that stressful situation, but spend time in looking for a solution for that stress. That's one thing we have to do. And also recognize the presence of God during that stressful situation. God's presence will be very close to you during that stressful situation. The reason I can say that is, think about the stressful journey of the Israelites. When they were in the desert for 40 years, what did God do? He provided literally everything. He took care of their food. Manna was provided. He baked bread. He gave them meat. He took care of their clothing, their sandals, and He provided light in the darkness and shed a cloud during the daytime to protect them from the scorching heat. All these things God did for them during that stressful travel. God will do the same thing for you and me also when we are going through stress. That's the reason He said, I give my peace unto you, not as the world gives you. So do not be dismayed, do not be troubled, do not be afraid. That's what God is telling you today. If you are in a stressful situation, remember that when you're in a stressful situation, try to recognize the presence of God, because before you get into your promised land, His presence is more with you in that stressful situation. In your desert experience, He's much more closer with you. He's very close with you. He's hearing everything you are saying. God is with you. Jesus is with you. His presence is with you. His angels are surrounding you. So don't be afraid in your stressful situation. So whatever stress you are having, trust in the Lord. The one in you is much greater, much powerful, and much stronger than the one that's in the world. What that means is the presence of God that's fighting your battle is much stronger, because the battle that you're fighting, I always say, doesn't belong to you. The battle belongs to the Lord. Amen. Your battle belongs to the Lord. My battle belongs to the Lord. So your stressful situation, recognize the presence of the Lord, because He is going to do everything for you. So try to look at the solution, not looking at the problems. When a person is skiing in the wooded area, what they advise them to do? They tell them not to look at the trees when they are skiing, but they tell them to look at the space in between the trees. So that's what you and I have to do also when we are going through a stress. Look at the solution. Okay, don't focus on the problem, but focus on beyond the problem, where Jesus is going to help you. He's going to give his hand to you. He is going to lift you out, bring you out, pull you out of that stressful situation. Trust in the Lord, put everything on him. God bless you. And if you like to watch more of these inspirational videos, you can subscribe to Shanti Edwin's channel, so that you'll be notified whenever I release a video. God bless you, and take care.